Production of my Godzilla.
Different blueprints.
What I like about what Sam Hinkie's done is he's had a vision and he's not altered from that vision. And that's unusual in the NBA.
Sam Hinkie was the disruptor with the big idea. Be Machiavellian in pursuit of talent. The end will justify the means. But before Hinkie got through his punch list, he was out. From the NBA establishment came Brian Colangelo, a trusted name and a steady hand to put the Sixers on track for immediate results.
The process in Philly has taken an interesting turn.
Colangelo is now the former GM of the 76ers as a result of this mysterious Twitter scandal.
But before phase 2 of Philly's reconstruction was complete, Colangelo was gone. Enter Elton Brand, whose traditionalist view of pro basketball was to bring championship-level winning to Philadelphia now. The opportunity cost of trading assets was exchanged for the immediacy to compete at the highest level.
You know, both guys are the type of guys you want on the team. Chemistry is overrated.
And here we are, witnesses to the result of a combination of changing visions that has left an oddly shaped product, an unsteady balance of investing for the future, and a franchise's pressure to win now. Look, this team is on the verge of elimination, and if so, there's going to be a very interesting offseason for them, Paul. The biggest issue for Philly right now is what?
Well, the immediate focus after the season is to try to retain Jimmy Butler. You know, but also, huh?
He's not staying.
You not staying?
He's not staying.
But they got to go for it.
He's gonna be in New York or LA.
Season over?
But that's my priority. I mean, he hosts the meeting.
Right
but
away.
you know what? At the end of the day, if they lose Tobias and they lose Jimmy Butler, the process still goes on because they got two centerpieces still. I said this last week. Not a lot of teams can say that if they lose key free agents. Like, if Toronto lose a key free agent and Kawhi Leonard, and they lose Kyle Gasol, it's a wrap. They still got the process.
Who? Which one?
Mark Gasol.
It ain't a wrap if they lose him.
If they lose Gasol, well, they have a big hole in the middle.
Kawhi,
and they lose Kawhi, then they got issues. But they still have two building blocks that key free agents can still come around. They can surround themselves with. So if they retain Jimmy Butler, and Tobias Harris, that's a plus. If not, they still have the process going.
Well, Rajon said Jimmy's out. I'm taking Rajon's word.
Yeah, he'll be he'll be in LA area or New York City. Yeah. But here's what I want to say about the two cornerstone thing. I think in the playoffs, as long as Ben Simmons won't attempt a shot outside of the paint, their two cornerstones become redundant when the game slows down. Kawhi is guarding him in this series. All he's doing is roaming, reaching, getting steals, and then dunking and scoring on them on the other end. So I think for both of these guys to flourish, if he's not going to shoot the ball outside of the paint at all, and I would love to hear what you got to say about this because you went from being a player people felt like they wanted to take the shot to actually shooting a lot of shots.
Right.
I seen you shoot 10 3-pointers in a quarter this year.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what do you think about a guy like that that just won't shoot the ball outside of the paint? Do you think that's going to change next year or the year after?
Well, I hope it changed for our game. He's a hell of a talent. Not many people can do what he does on the court every night. But similar situation back in the Boston days we played. Teams played me similar ways, but the most important stat is FGAs.
You would shoot, though.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what Danny told me. He said, I don't care how far they back up or however Kobe's playing you. You know, FGAs is the most important thing on the stat sheet. So I would just tell him shoot the ball, stay aggressive.
But he's not even driving to the hole. He's not even making plays for other people. But you gotta stick with him. He's only in his second year. You gotta hope that it'll develop, like we saw with Rondo, like we saw with Jason Kidd. You gotta hope that he can develop some sort of game to where it's respectable, to where you got like, all right, we gotta come out here with the game winner. He may hit, but you gotta take the shot.
How long do you give it, though?
You gotta take the
potential
shot,
versus
though.
reality becomes a real situation at some point. So how long?
I mean, it depends on how long they want this process to last. You know, they sped it up this year, getting Jimmy and Tobias. Who knows, like Paul said, what will happen this summer. But to me, and I've been watching them close, I'm with you, Jay. I don't think their games, they don't match each other.
The geometry of the court, it just doesn't work.
So do you trade one?
Match.
You get rid of one?
No, you surround him with pieces that make it work.
Paul,
you surround him with pieces that make it work.
They did that.
This guy was an all-star.
They're doing that right now with Butler, Tobias, and J.J. Redick.
Well, you got to find a way to keep them. If you don't keep them, then you continue to search for those pieces.
You can't.
I'm not saying
trade an all-star in his second year. That's like unheard of. When does that ever happen?
I'm not saying trade him right now, Paul, but what I'm saying is if he doesn't continue to develop, right, you got to make a choice, period. And that choice is probably going to be Ben Simmons. He's going to have to move, and those guys are going to need their own team. That's not saying that he's not a really good player. This dude got a chance to be one of the greats.
Correct.
But if he don't work, he going to be this dude.
How long do you give him then? You give him at least another deal.
Well, I believe in that. I was a guy that...
So we talking about 4 more years minimum.
You give him a chance, no doubt.
4 more years.
We'll see, though.
We got Game 6, Warriors-Rockets, down in Houston. That's tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, on ESPN, Deportes, the app. Golden State a win away from eliminating Houston from the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 5 years. We will start things off with a little countdown at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And then Saturday, a little UFC 237. You get the strawweight belt defense, #1 contender in the main event on pay-per-view. ESPN Deportes as well. You order it, go to espnplus.com/PPV. Serge Ibaka said that Kawhi Leonard ended his modeling career